Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 204. When we last left our heroes, a lot of shit happened in a seemingly, really, funny filler kind of chapter. The big crux of the story was Arthur's search for orichalcum that he believes is in the Nether. It's not. It's at the pickle merchant's shop in Asakusa, but that's not the point. But while they were down there, we got a lot of, character work done with Lisa, who has to this point been a very underutilized character, given her long arc up until the Nether, and just kind of having all of that thrown away when she returned after Holy Saw Temple. We saw that Okubo is still planning on playing with that in her fear of Giovanni and the Nether. But the big thing is that Arthur's parents are back. And they're almost certainly the allies that Joker mentioned in Chapter 202, that are also opposed to the Empire. So yeah, that's kind of where we left off. So let's jump right on into Chapter 204, The Night King's Family. On our cover picture here is a really scratchy drawing of rocket ships. Travel to the heavens, the fruits of adventure lie there. And so we open where we left off, with Team Arthur running into the Boyles. And Vulcan is still staring in shock. Saving the world? You're Arthur's parents. I expected no less from my mother and father. You do honor to the names King and Queen. Their names aren't actually King and Queen, right? That's all a part of Arthur's fantasy, right? Right? And Arthur's mom, I know those uniforms. You're a fire soldier, Arthur. Oh, blessed son, you too have been fighting to save the world. Well, it's good to know it's genetic. All of Arthur's insanity. Since the day you both departed, I became the Night King. To be both Night King and Fire Soldier. It's tough to be a man of many hats. Oh, blessed son. Does Arthur's dad start every sentence with, oh, blessed son? Oh, blessed son. Please don't tell me. How splendid you've become. Both of his parents. Okay, I want to take a moment to break down the Boyles pose here. His dad is still, facing straight at him, and with one arm, outstretched like this. Let me see if I can actually, like this. You can't really see it well because my angle is not very good. Whereas his mother is, draped over his arm, and also with one arm outstretched. Alright. I am a knight. And Vulcan is just, so over this already. This is like having 3 Arthurs. I'm not ready for this. You want to fill me in here? You're Arthur's parents, and you've been out saving the world. This is absolutely ridiculous. I can't keep up. You mean, look, can you explain this for me? And Arthur just looks at him. Vulcan, don't think, feel. You need to do less feeling and more thinking. And Arthur's dad speaks up. My intuition tells me that you are his fire soldier comrades. And Vulcan looks at him, are you sure it's your intuition and not our, jumpsuits? We're all Company 8, like Arthur. Also, your wife pointed out our uniforms 2 seconds ago. Vulcan has barely had a handle of having 1 Arthur around. Having 3 of them, he's just ready to fucking snap at anybody. But Arthur's dad looks at him. We are the Resistance. Both of them are both of the Boyles have 1 arm over each other and the other extended. We are the Resistance. We work to undo the corruption that has taken root in this country. The Resistance? What the hell are you talking about? Well, if we put plainly, we had debts we needed to skip out on. Sweetie here came up with a wild story, and I've just been going along with it. What? After last chapter, I was like, oh, they actually had a noble reason for abandoning Arthur. But no! What the fuck? What? Say that again? Basically, we've been playing make-believe Resistance down here in the Nether. How many years have you been down here doing that? Why would you go along with something so idiotic? And Arthur's mom smiles. I couldn't just let him head off into the Nether by himself. It was dangerous, and Arthur was just a child, so I couldn't rightly bring him. My husband may be a kook, but I adore him. So you just left Arthur behind? Well, I can always have more kids, but I only have 1 husband. What the fuck? Holy shit, they're bad. Okay. All of the changing feelings on the Boyle parents are just reverted right back to they are bastards. Okay, they're kind of the worst. But Arthur doesn't seem to realize anything wrong with that. Such wisdom, befitting of my mother. Everything we've been done has been in order to avert calamity. The Holy Sol Temple, the worship of the Sun God, all of it was created to control people. An extra-dimensional being known as the Evangelist seeks to cause a second great cataclysm and destroy our world. So they do know things? What? How do you? And spontaneous human combustion is caused by another version of us from hell impeding on our world. So they know fucking everything! What? This is just such whiplash! So much fucking whiplash on these guys! Also, did Vulcan know that yet? Because I think the only people that we've seen discuss that is what? Conro, Benimaru, Hibana, the First Crew, Shinra, maybe Arthur, maybe Shinra and Arthur told the whole Ape Company. That would make sense, I guess. Wait a minute, where did you hear all of that? You can thank my husband for all of that. He comes up with the wildest stories. And Vulcan turns to her husband. How do you know all of that? Wish I could just give you an easy how. But he reaches into his robe and pulls out a cowboy hat. I'm a prophet. So for a second there, I could only see the top of the cowboy hat. And for a second, I thought it was like Shop in a robe had come in and told them all this, which would make some sense. But no. Arthur's dad just kind of guessed, and he got it all right. Back when the restaurant went under, we were in real dire straits financially. How are we going to get through this? I didn't have much choice but to put my hat down and avoid reality. And baby Arthur comes up to him. Arthur's dad is like lying on the ground with his hat over his head. Why are you looking in your hat? Do you see something? And from then on, I dipped down my hat and looked inside of it whenever I lost my way. And eventually, I started to see all of heaven's field in it. And looking at all those stars and planets in my hat, I understood. I understood the truth of our own. Alright, I have no idea how seriously we're supposed to take this chapter. And then we have another flashback with Arthur asleep in bed. And the Boyles look down at him. Arthur, Mom and Dad are off to save the world, okay? Stay strong. We love you. And then back in the present, I saw it in my hat. I saw a field of stars stretching before me, and I saw the danger facing our own little celestial body here. Excuse me? So we came to the Nether, and we've been working to save the world. So, how serious... So, I'm guessing Arthur's mom does not believe all this, but maybe Arthur's dad does, and he actually does know something. Vulcan, this guy's cracked and his story is cracked, and I don't want to listen to it anymore, but... The civilizations and ideologies of our world are a fabrication, created by the Evangelist. Look, and Vulcan is very, very, skeptical. Look, this is all way too convenient. It's sketchy. I think this might be a trap. And Arthur's dad's, oh, what if they are White-Clads? And that's how they know all of this. And they're, maybe under the poncho, he's got a White-Clad uniform on. And they're doing all this to trap Company 8. That seems to be what's going on in Vulcan's mind right now. Anyway, Vulcan continues, what, did you prophesy us showing up here too? I did feel like Arthur would come here. I felt like Arthur would come here, looking for something. Quite right, Father. I've come looking for Orichalcum in order to forge true Excalibur. And looking at these other faces side by side, it's really clear how much of a family resemblance there is. Follow me. And Arthur's dad turns around. He sure seized on that. Don't think, we just have to feel. Vulcan, you're too quick to trust people. I mean, remember how easily I tricked you? And Vulcan looks at her, and wow! Lisa just brings out, like, what must be one of the most traumatic moments in Vulcan's life, like it's fucking nothing. But Vulcan just looked at her. You're with us now, aren't you? That's true. And you turns to Arthur. Arthur-san, are they really your parents? Wait a second, that question gets me thinking. What if... What if they're created by Yona? Because we know Yona can shift faces. The problem with that would be that Yona, I doubt, would know all that much of Arthur's backstory. Especially because I don't actually know if Yona and Arthur have met face to face. I mean, of course, Yona was there at Asakusa way back during that arc, so he encountered Arthur, but he saw Arthur, but he never really talked with him. I don't think they had an interaction during the first Nether arc. Trying to remember other Yona appearances, but that's probably my first guess that they are created by Yona in order to entrap Company 8. Obviously, trickery is useless against me. My eyes would not be deceived. That's his response to "Are they really your parents?" Sorry, I should have restated that. Well then, what an exciting reunion. We're both working to save the world. Us meeting again like this is no surprise. And Yu kind of looks at him. You're an idiot, but you certainly have a way of looking at things. And Arthur's dad turns back to the crew. Come on, we're almost there. And they come back to this, junk room with, what looks to be a washing machine, a desktop computer, all kinds of beat-up old shit. What's with this junk heap? Lisa asks. And Yu kind of looks off to the side. It's like Vulcan's workshop all over again. What a nightmare. And Arthur, capitalizes on that. Did you say night? Not that type of night, Arthur. And Vulcan's mom turns to the crew. This is all technology from before the Cataclysm. They're machines we've collected. Whoa. I've never even seen some of this stuff. Is that some kind of device? He's looking at a smartphone. I know it was somewhere. Ah, here. Here it is. And Arthur's dad pulls out what looks like a giant bullet. That's just my first take on it. What's this? Some sort of part? I felt like this was something good. What do you think? And Vulcan looks at it. No, it couldn't be. Is this the fairing of a spaceship? Huh? What? Huh? I don't know anymore. You know your stuff. Can I touch it? This thing's covered in a special heat-resistant aluminum alloy. It can take temperatures upwards of 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Celsius without any signs of warping. It's crazy resilient. And Arthur just goes off on his own little tangent. Dark matter, adrift in space. A star fragment, in a sense. Fitting for a holy blade. And you were like, what? No, that's not what he said. It's part of a rocket, not some kind of shh. And Lisa, stops you. Let him go. And we see, the smuggest face we've ever seen Arthur have. We're back. Mom, Dad, they've had more kids? Who are they? You were like, what the fuck? Were you good while we were gone? Yep. What? No, children? Why? And 3 of them? What? Why? We had them when we came to the Nether. You have them? But I thought you... and Lisa, admonishes him. You, drop it. How they run their family is their own business. But no, think about Arthur. Why would they have kids? She said she couldn't bring a child to the Nether. That's why they left him. How could they do this to Arthur? He turns to Arthur. He's so lucky he isn't listening to this. Arthur is fully on cloud 9 right now. Vulcan turns to Arthur. Arthur, this stuff is great. This will make a way better sword than the fake calcum I came up with. What? Vulcan, shh! Don't tell him that! We're supposed to be playing make-believe. You're going to ruin it. Really? That's great news, Vulcan. Great news, he says. He only wants to hear what he wants to hear. What's with these people? It's scary. It's dark. I hate it here. You has just had enough. After, the spaceship has made Vulcan fully on board with all this nonsense. But you has just had it. Too much shit is going on here. And Lisa kind of looks at him as he's on the ground. We took our sweet time getting here, but looks like we just have to head back and make the thing now. This is sick. Come to Papa. The time has come. Let's make Excalibur. An unforeseen encounter leads to an incredibly rare resource. Make the grace of holy blades and return the Night King to life. To be continued, chapter 205, The Holy Blade Reborn. Also, Arthur is wearing the spaceship piece as a hat, because of course he is. Alright. So this is a truly wild chapter. One that I don't really understand. I definitely think something is going on with, not all as it seems with the Boyles. I am no longer convinced, like I was last week, that they are the people Joker was talking about a couple of chapters ago. His friends in the Nether that were against the Empire. But they definitely know something, and I don't think they know it from a hat. Whether that's because they are working with Joker, or whether they're Yona's White-Clads, or they're just actual White-Clads. All of that, I don't know. Or whether let me rephrase that. Whether they're, people Yona has transformed to looking like the Boyle parents because he's done his research, or they're actually Arthur's parents who have joined up with the White-Clads, or were always White-Clads, or whatever. Those are all, like, three possible answers for how they know all this. And I'm not sure which is true. Especially because I think there's a little bit more to the spontaneous human combustion story that we don't exactly have. Like, we still don't know the why Adola is impeding on our world, as Boyle's mom says on page 8. And the fact that they stop exactly where the information we have ends is a little suspicious to me. Though maybe that's just Okubo not wanting to spoil too much. I don't know. Beyond that, the chapter is very funny. It's a very funny chapter. Though we also have to talk about the spaceships. I mean, maybe they got it from, like, an actual, like, rocket launch in the, like, real-world sense of the term. You know, not like a full-on space travel spaceship. Because that makes no sense whatsoever. And the shape of it fits with a rocket. So that does make some sense, I guess. But the fact that none of them think that it's a bullet first, despite the fact that guns definitely exist in this world, is a little weird. But whatever. Also, the Boyle parents, even if they're not villains, are just the complete worst. They abandoned Arthur because they didn't want to bring a child to the Nether, and then they had 3 more kids. Oof. Big ol' oof there. But yeah, it looks like next time, Excalibur will finally be reborn, and maybe we'll get some answers about what the Boyles are really up to. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!